If you are tired of looking the same year after year in a gym, making little to no progress, watch this video to the very end, because I am going to tell you the mistakes that I made so that you can avoid them. In the past, I would often follow this typical bulk and cut where I'll eat in a huge surplus, gain weight, feel fat, and then hate myself again. After I gain weight, I will often try to go for a cut where I'll lose 10 to 15 pounds only to gain it all back in a short period of time, making little to no progress. This is what we call yo-yo dieting. This cycle of mine repeated itself for years until I start to make this adjustment to my food and my training. And that's when I start to see my progress come back again. Now for bulking, you were told to eat at a 3 to 500 surplus in order to gain muscle. Does that sound familiar? No. You can't gain muscle even if you eat at a 1000 calorie surplus. Ideally, your bulking phase should be 2 to 4 times longer than your cutting phase. So for example, if you decide to cut for 12 weeks, you should be bulking for at least 24 to 48 weeks, which is about 6 months to a year. If you stick to a 500 calorie surplus, like what the internet always says, how are you going to make progress for the next 24 weeks? For me, what changed was, instead of eating at a surplus, I ate at maintenance level with moderate amount of protein, 1 gram per pound of body weight, and 50 to 55% of my calories in carbohydrate, with the rest in fat. Now I know this goes against everything that you have heard on the internet, but by eating at a maintenance calorie, you don't have to go back to yo-yo dieting or get fat in the process. And your maintenance calorie will naturally go up as your muscle increases. You will reach a point where your maintenance calories will cause you to drop weight. This is when you should increase your calories again to match your performance in the gym. Most people get too fat because they are not disciplined enough and eat too big of a surplus. You don't have to follow 100% of the nutrition. Even if you deviate 5 to 10%, it's perfectly okay as long as you are consistent. You will make progress. But of course, having nutrition is one thing. What's more important is the stimulus which allows for growth, and that is training. In the past, how I would typically train is to chase after the pump, go for sets of 8 to 12, sometimes even 12 to 15, and often I would neglect performance. What changed in my training is I decided to chase after performance instead of the pump. So this is why I allocated 50% of my food intake into carbohydrate so that it can fuel my workout in the gym. As you are bulking, the number one thing which you should be aiming for is not the pump, but you need to get stronger. That is what you should be striving for, and not how good your pumps are or how sore you feel the next day, or even trying to increase the volume by increasing the number of sets that you're doing. If volume was the main metric to gain muscle, then why don't I just stay in a gym for like 10 hours? Surely that will work, right? There comes a point where volume does not equate to muscle mass. We want to get more by doing less, not the other way around. How do we make sure that we get stronger in the gym? Get yourself a notebook, an app, anything that you prefer. Like for me, I use an Excel sheet, track down every single lift that you do and every single rep that you have done. From there, you want to stick to the same exercises for at least minimum 8 weeks. Try your best to beat the previous session by weights or increase by 1 rep. So that is how you make progress in the gym. Building muscle naturally is a very slow and painful process. You must learn to trust the process, but by trusting the right process as well. There are no shortcuts. If anybody tells you that you can get your results faster by doing something unique, or if they have a special magic formula, just block them. These people are out here to scam you to buy their products. All this is just advice from me that I've learned over the years of trial and error, and by simplifying it for you guys. So do subscribe if you want to hear me yap more about fitness related stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.